Shalom, shalom, shalom to everyone watching. This is Rabbi Moshe Otero. Boker Tov, as we entering this week, Purim week. So I want to welcome you in this lecture that we're going to do this morning, continuing with Sefer Haikkarim. Let me just take a look at something here. The fast Purim begins this morning, and obviously it started at 6:17. Those who can fast, please keep in mind those who are unable to fast because of health issues. Please keep in mind the fast is beginning at 6:17 this morning, and it ends at 7:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Afterwards, the lecture of the Sefer Esther will be read Monday and also Tuesday morning. For those of you following the Simcha, obviously then Shoshan Purim will be on the 15th of Adar, and this morning we are continuing with our study in the Sefer Haikkarim. So let's go ahead and go right into it. Book 2, Chapter 4, we've already explained in the first book that the Torah begins with a story of creation to prove the existence of the Maker. The account of the way in which things passed by potentially to actuality proves that the existence of an agent who brought them into actuality, and in fact that they passed into actuality at different times, namely in the 6 days of creation, which shows that the agent is one who acts with intention and will, and does things at different times as his wisdom dictates. Though they would have all come into being at the same time, the reason they are called produced at different times is to indicate the intention and will. For these are the same basis of the Torah as a whole, and the reward and punishment mentioned therein. As we said before, and the Rabbis say also, the world could have been created with one word, and the reason that there have been 10 is in order to exact punishment from the wicked and to give reward to the righteous. The order in which the different things came into being denotes the natural priority of some creatures other than others. This shows that every one of them came into being at the same time that was suitable and appropriate to its nature, so that it may realize the utmost perfection of which it's capable. That wisdom and will of the Maker has decreed the expression, and God saw that it was good, which concludes the account of every work of creation, and it points to the idea just as we have mentioned. From this testimony, from the testimony of the senses in regards to passing of things from potentiality to actuality, we can find a rational proof of the existence of God as follows. We see things which are potential and then become actual. Now, everything that passes from potentiality to actuality must have a cause outside of it, and for it causes within that there is no obstacle, and the thing would never be potential at all, but always be at the state of actual. And if this is the cause of being within, there was also an obstacle preventing its actualization, which was removed. Then, that which is removed, the obstacle, is the cause of the thing passing from potentiality to actuality. Now that the cause, which was itself potential before it became actual, was in this condition either because of the obstacle in itself or because of the absence of the certain relation between the agent and the things acted upon. And it is as soon as the relationship appeared that the cause became actual. Whichever of these alternatives we adopt, there must be something that removes the obstacle or that produces the required relationship or relation. But at the same time, things apply to things that remove the obstacle or brought about the relation. This cannot be an ad infinitum. We must therefore finally reach a cause actualizing the potential, which has no potentiality at all. For if it had it would be subject to possibility. This means to have possibility of existing and not existing. But if so, it would need another actualizing cause that would be determined one of the alternative possibilities in preference to the other. And the other, therefore, would be an actualizing cause without potentiality or obstacle, but one that does whatsoever it desires with its simple will and its necessary existence. It cannot be material, for material things is a subject to possibility, cannot be necessarily existence. It is clear also from this that it is abstract or separate. But an abstract cause without possibility that causes things to pass from potentiality to actuality is God. It is clear that he is not a body, and it is also clear that he is one, for the abstract is not susceptible of the numerical quantity, except insofar that as one makes sense and other the effect. But the abstract without the possibility is necessarily a cause and not an effect, for the effect is possible existence, since existence is dependent on another. It follows, therefore, that he is one. It also is clear he is not another, and then he would be subject to possibility. It is also clear that he is free from defects, for if he were defective, his work could not be absolutely perfect, whereas we see that all of his works are as perfect as they can be. As the Bible says, the rock, his work is perfect. So it's clear, therefore, that he is free from defect. The proof of the existence of God is equivalent to the fourth proof mentioned by Maimonides in the Guide of the Perplexed, where he treats of the existence of God and the principle which follows from it. It is a biblical proof which is in agreement with philosophy and is alluded to in the creation story and Genesis, as we have seen here. And so ends chapter 4 of Hilchot, book 2 of Rabbi Albo. We will be continuing this Bezrat Hashem tomorrow morning, and we're going to take a look at chapter 5, as it indicates that the other proofs provided by the philosophers of the existence of God, and also mentioned by Maimonides, is the beginning of the second part of the guide. We'll mention briefly, call attention to the reader to the valid and those that are not valid in the philosophical points. But this is not admitted by any of those who profess a divine law and believes in creation, nor can our senses testify to such a doctrine, whereas we therefore trouble to mention that proof. So we will continue with chapter 5 tomorrow morning about the same time, and look forward to being with you and sharing continuously the information and the incredible knowledge of Rabbi Joseph Albo from Sefer Haikkarim. So stay tuned with us and be part of the ways of Israel. Tzedakah, tzedakah. Remember, it's very important during this period of time in which we now enter into the Purim to give charity, and of course the gifts to the poor. This is Rabbi Moshe Terah wishing you and yours a wonderful week. Shalom.